Hello everybody, Planet Walls here. One moment. Alright, we're back. This is Planet Walls for round 3 of the Classic League 2013 Qualifier Tournament 2 Season X, X-Man, I'm a monument to all your sins. Alright, whatever. I'm not sure what this tournament's called. It's called a lot of words. This is the deck that we're playing. You've probably seen it before. I've mentioned that I wouldn't play it as is again. Currently working on a DE version to take home the sweet DuPont 3 survival, 1 squee DE challenge for Classic, but, you know, that's a story for a different time and a different video. As it stands, this is our deck, and we can talk about it again in a minute, but first I would like to load up our opponent's deck. Our opponent is Enric, and he is playing actually a very cool deck, in my opinion. Let me make sure I can find it. It is not I Am Playing Stomping Ground, that's my deck. I thought it was like right here. Why isn't it right there? I will be back in a minute. Alright, I just didn't have text deck, local text deck selected. That's silly of me. But anyway, my opponent is Enric, and he's playing a cool Thought Lash deck that I think will destroy me. I would rather play against Affinity than this 1,000,000 times a day. So why does this deck destroy me? Well, I'll talk about the combo first, then I'll talk about why I think it has the advantage. It is playing a card with some of the best art imaginable. By best, I mean worst, but look at this. This is awesome. It's spitting out math and Greek symbols. It's the best. So this is an enchantment. It's like extremely difficult for me to remove, and if you're confused as to how it works, he can exile the top card of his library to prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to him. It doesn't target. It can even prevent damage from his own lands, like Ancient Tomb. And it has a cumulative upkeep. And when you don't pay it, it exiles all the cards from your library. Well, that would be bad for him, except that he's got Lab Maniacs, and that's how he wins. Probably not by attacking with them, but maybe sometimes. Instead, he just exiles all the cards after he plays a Lab Maniac, and then he wins. So, his goal is to get these 2 cards in play. They're both the same colors. They're both fairly easy to cast against me, and he's got a ton of counter backup. So he's got Forces. He's got, well, I guess, Annuls. We'll talk about the cards that are bad in his deck in a minute. He's got Mental Missteps. He's also got Spell Pierces. His land is what's the real problem here. The deck is almost mono blue, but not quite. He's running 6 basic islands and a basic swamp, and 7 fetches. This means that Magus of the Moon probably doesn't screw him up very badly at all. He's also got a Soul Ring and a Mana Crypt. So that only makes 22 mana sources. That's not that many, but some of them are Ancient Tombs, which can ramp him. And he's also got a ton of card draw and card selection to find the cards he needs, including 4 Ponders and 4 Brainstorms. So, and also 3 Tutors, though I think Imperial Seal is actually a bad tutor when you have Thought Lash on the board. But that's fine. This is all to say, I have trouble interacting with this deck. I have a Thunderscape Battle Mage that can kill this, and I have a Flame Tongue and a Caldera Hellion that can kill this. I have some Summoning Traps that can deal with this and punish him, but that's unlikely to me, and some Summoning Traps that can punish him for this, or some Caverns. Fortunately, here are the cards in his deck that do almost nothing against me. They can still counter some things or remove some things from the board, including like a Mana Crypt, but otherwise they aren't that great. They're those, these, and this. Spell Pierces and Dispels can counter my Summoning Traps, but I don't believe anything else. And the Annuls can only counter my, whatever they're called, Mana Crypt, and the Hurkyl's Recalls can only bounce my Mana Crypt or his stuff. So, worth paying attention to. And basically our plan is to just kill him as fast as possible, the Colonian Hydra, and maybe have to kill a Lab Maniac when necessary. After sideboard, we have some extra options. One thing that's good for us is that his sideboard kind of super sucks. He's got Dismember, and maybe Grafdigger's Cage if he wants to bring them in against Summoning Trap, though I'm not sure he would. It's probably better to bring in Dispel. So, like, guarantee he's going to want to cut all these cards, bring in a Dismember, and probably Grafdigger's Cage, since they just do more than these cards. But he might just be paranoid about Summoning Trap and keep them in, especially because they're blue and he can pitch them to Force of Will. So this is the only really threatening sideboard card he'll bring in, and it's not that threatening. We have some better stuff to bring in, but still this is a scary matchup because Thought Lash, which is part of his combo, pretty much eliminates my ability to win the game. Because I'm just dealing damage, and I have very few cards that can eliminate this permanent. So, we were waiting for him to come online, and until that happens... Actually, nothing will happen for you until that happens. You will go right into the game. I will see you in a moment. Alright, and we are back. I apologize for including the bar at the bottom of the screen, but there was just a glitch in Cam Studio, and I was decreasing time. It's actually a day later. We would like to play first. This hand is pretty good. We have a way to kill him. This card sucks. It does nothing, but we can, in theory, ramp into something insane, even though our current hand doesn't have a lot of good stuff, and from there make some good things happen, I think. The question is what to lead with. I might actually want to lead with Deathrite Shaman. We're not going to mulligan this. And Seeds of Innocence, in theory, could kill a Mana Crypt or something. So the question is, do I lead out with something that he really wants to counter, or do I lead out with something that he doesn't want to counter? I actually think that the Deathrite Shaman is more valuable, so, but I kind of want basic forests. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play the Foothills, find a basic forest, and play the Deathrite. I could play the Stomping Ground, but it just sucks. I guess taking damage is fine against him, though. So maybe this was a mistake. But I want to get a basic forest out and trim my deck of lands. Okay, he let that resolve, so he's not scared. This is a scary-ass combo matchup, definitely. And his basic island there just makes Magus the Moonworst significantly. That's alright, I think. Caustic Wasp, that's super horrible. Actually, not even sure if I want to get that ready. What sort of artifacts does he have? He just has Tops and Soul Rings? I think he would have played them if he had them, so getting a Caustic Wasps down is not very interesting. Might want to keep it in my hand in case there's some other shit going down. So like this turn, what do I do? Do I just attack with this? That's pretty shitty. But it might be the way things go here. I think I just attack with that and then play a Jack. I think. Maybe I play the Jack first. I'll tell you why I do this in a minute. Yeah, we're playing the Jack first. If he wants to counter this and he has Spell Pierce, this means I can pay the mana to counter, or I'm sorry, to play the Summoning Trap even after the Spell Pierce. And he does counter that. So that means we play Summoning Trap right now. We hope we hit something great, like Colonian Hydra in this case. He's going to force that. Pitching one of his combo pieces. Okay, I think I'm actually okay with that series of events, though we're at a pretty low threshold for cards that do something now, and he's going to be drawing another one. But he did pitch a combo piece. Alright, so now we definitely find a Bayou, I think. And there's our Colonian Hydra, which we can't play because our Jack is in the graveyard. This is what I'm going to do. Do I play the Wasps this turn? It's so lame. I could start making him lose life by making cards go away in the graveyard. Not sure if that's worthwhile. Like, the Wasps definitely sucks, but it wouldn't hurt to have out when he has top. That's for sure. I guess I attack with Deathrite, even though that's super lame. We deal as much physical damage as we can, as it were, before we get to a loss of life situation. It's too bad that he was able to counter that Summoning Trap. We would have definitely landed a Colonian Hydra right there. Even though we gained, I guess, massive card advantage off that series of plays, it's still kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so let's get in there with this guy. Not very exciting. And then we will play the Caustic Wasps. Even though that also is not very exciting. Find a Bayou. That's kind of exciting. This, not so much. And this card is just a dead card in our hand. If he counters this, and he's probably just reading it right now, but it's essentially a 1/1 for 3. It's terrible in this matchup. We just want to hope he doesn't land a Thought Lash anytime soon. He doesn't this turn, so that's good. And then this turn we definitely can get a Colonian Hydra out. Do I want to do it before combat? Yes, he has to have another Force of Will here, I think. So I'm going to do this right now. What's going on? We went a green. And now we play our classic ramp deck. Here, can you force this? Let's find out. I bet he's going to brainstorm. Nope, just resolves. Okay, so we have to kill him quickly now. But I think we can make that happen. Next turn we're attacking for 10, in theory. He goes down to 15. If he has the enchantment, the Thought Lash, we're in a lot of trouble. And he does. So, yeah, that's no good. But that's the way this cookie crumbles. I will not be attacking with the Deathrite this turn, that's for sure. So he's going to prevent a ton of damage to himself, but our Colonian Hydra is going to get very big very quickly. We just have to hope that he doesn't have a... Why can't I think of what it's called? Lab Maniac in his hand. So I think he doesn't want to exile cards, because the more cards he exiles, the more likely it is he removes all his Lab Maniacs from the game. And he gives us information as well. Alright, so not sure how much damage he's preventing to himself, but we get to see the cards. He unfortunately did not move a Lab Maniac. That makes it more likely that there's a Lab Maniac in his hand, which is very bad for us. The next question is, do I want to play this Birds or leave it in my hand? I think I don't want to play it. Actually, I may want to play it. Not entirely sure about that. Yeah, so he takes no damage. Essentially, this means I have one fewer card to pitch to a Fauna Shaman if I draw it, but this could also allow me to cast a Rurik Thar or a Summoning Trap. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop this baby. And if he has a Lab Maniac in his hand, I probably lose this game, unless I can rip, like, I don't know, something excellent, like Flame Tongue. It would suck if he just randomly drew both of his combo pieces, because, like, he doesn't have much else going on. Like, he didn't draw any cards, so... Okay. I just forgot to Deathrite him. That's horrible. That's actually really, really bad. So this turn, we attack with these guys. That's essentially, like, 2 fewer cards for me. And I should have attacked with the Deathrite this turn, too. I'm, feeling, like, jittery, kind of. Oh, man. Punting. I'm punting. Maybe we can make the punting incomplete, though. Yeah, so he's going to prevent a lot of damage to himself. That's fine. I think we definitely just go ahead and play the Kazul, though, right? There's one Lab Maniac here. He could have another one, though. Can't believe there's only been one exile. That means the odds of him drawing or having another one are really high. Yeah, so let's, I guess, drop our Kazul. He goes to 11. So that means he's a little nervous. Yeah. I think we kill him next turn. So maybe the extra damage didn't matter that much, but it seems super shitty to me. We could have forced him to exile one more card. So, like, I could have thrown this game. Him exiling Ponders is good, too, because that means he can't draw a Ponder. And 2 forces are gone, one's in the graveyard. So he has another force. That would be the only thing he's thinking about doing this turn. He's probably just reading this, honestly. I might be able to overpower the Lab Maniac and all the cards he has to exile this turn, even if he plays a Lab Maniac. Yeah, he's going to play one. This brings him to 9. This is going to be very, very close. And it's going to get to the point where maybe I lose solely because of my stupid Deathrite plays. Yeah, there's one of those guys right there. So he can prevent 21 to himself. I don't know if that's going to matter, though. Because he's at virtual 7 with this. So he's at virtual 30 life. This attacks for 32. I think I just win right here, which is kind of insane. Yeah, I guess he just exiles the rest of his deck, but If I did my math right, I think we still win. Right? He doesn't have any lands accessible now because he can't even fetch to find anything. Yeah, I'll always yield to this turn. I'll remove all auto yields. And he's dead. Okay, so Colonian Hydra just overpowered a Thought Lash, which is pretty cool. And it was after I made some serious play mistakes. So again, punting incomplete, guys. That feels good, doesn't it? So here are the things we want to bring in. And some of these, I'll explain why. Basically, any hasty damage. Caldera Hellion can actually kill Lab Maniacs. This is uncounterable and hasty. This is hasty. And also, if I Summoning Trap into it during his turn, when he's about to win, I can take his Lab Maniac and then he decks himself. Aladdin super sucks. Seed sucks. These things super suck. And these things are pretty awesome. So now what do we want to cut? Well, we want to cut the Seeds, the Caustic Wasps, the Hammer Mage, probably the Tin Street, even though it's fast. Maybe the Scavenging Ooze. It can get kind of big. And Rurik Thar is really good against him if I can get out early, but it's also kind of slow. Kazul kind of super sucks. It's just a 5-power guy. Like, maybe he's better than Zealous Conscripts in some way. Magus is okay. It's not great against him, but it has the potential to disrupt him. It's just, I don't know if it's better than, like, a Scavenging Ooze. And also, he could board in Graph Digger's Cages to interact with Summoning Traps, but that doesn't seem very good. Like, I almost want to just board this thing out because it's, like, 6 mana, but that seems wrong, too. Molder Slug seems kind of slow and feeble. Like, I think Kazul might be better than a Molder Slug. Then again, it can make his top irritating to use. Like, this could provide some sort of utility, I suppose. And it survives a Caldera Hellion hit, I guess. Like, let's cut one of the Magi the Moon, and I think the Scavenging Ooze... Like, gaining life does nothing, but making him bigger because my own creatures fall there, that's at least valuable. And Storm Breath is just hasty and can occasionally monstrify, which is humorous. Like, Rurik Thar, this just seems so bad to me. It's just like a dumb 6/6 that if he's already won, he's already won, but... I guess it does a lot of damage, though. It costs 6. Fuck it, that card sucks. Alright, so we took game 1, which I'm actually just completely shocked by. We have a way to interact with his enchantments, I guess, and we have a death rate, which is scary, and we have a way to interact with his cards in general, like any of them. So we're not going to mull this. What do I want to find with Windswept Heath? He's going to find a basic, pretty clearly. Yeah. And a top. That's pretty good for him. He didn't have like any of that stuff last game. And this is much weaker now that he has this, but we have Basic Forest, which is also good. So the question is, like, do I want to find a basic here? Do I want to keep up a Red Blast to counter something? I don't think so. I think we wait on the Red Blast. And, let's see, I can Heath for Basic Forest, or for a Bayou, which I'll eventually want. Then next turn find a Taiga. Yeah, let's find the Bayou now. I think that seems right. Deathrite is one of the better cards against him, even though I didn't employ it to good effect last game. Alright. And it resolves. That's, I think if he had a misstep, he probably would have countered it, unless he's saving it for the Red Blasts. That would make sense. I mean, this game he could just win because he has serious card selection with the top. Two tops. Now I kind of wish I had that Molder Slug in play. Kind of. So Magus does nothing here except prevent him from casting things with black mana. I actually think I want to drop this Fauna Shaman here rather than play the Magus. Is that right? I think that's probably the right move. And then I just attack for one, or I keep back Red Blast. So like this turn he could cast the damage prevention thing. Is there anything like I just want to be able to red blast? I don't think so. Um, so I think I can kill any of the permanents that I would otherwise want to red blast. So attacking him for one is probably more valuable than keeping up mana. But I'm going to do this first just in case he forces the Fauna Shaman. And we definitely find a Taiga here, I think. Okay, so that made it through, and then we just score, I think, one. Let me make sure. Let me check his deck real quick. Is there anything I just want to red blast when it's on the stack? Like a Ponder? I don't know if I would blow a red blast for that when he's got two tops out. I guess it's a shuffle effect, but this seems right to me. With Fauna Shaman out, we have some more card interaction. We have some more interactive options, essentially. One thing I'm a little hesitant to do is eliminate my ability. No, I can still make black with this. Okay, so this is a Lab Maniac. We can, in theory, kill that with a red blast. He's got his basic swamp now, so Magus is pretty shitty at this point. We don't have a Lumberjack, which is okay. So we've got another land, that's fine. We're going to want to use this first. Now this turn we can play a Thunderscape. We can't make him discard. That would be pretty cool though. Next turn we can play this. Can we do it for 6 next turn? I don't think so. And we can't make the Hydra this turn. This Magus is probably going to get pitched to a Fauna Shaman. I think it just sucks. So do I want to like attack with the Fauna Shaman or look for something? I'm probably going to want to look for something, pitching the Magus. The first thing I probably want to do is blast the Lab Maniac, I think. Is that correct? Like, I don't want to get too greedy with the Thunderscape Battle Mage. I could just want to hold up the Red Blast for Force of Will after he plays Thought Lash. Because I can kill the Lab Maniac with like a Flame Tongue Kavu. So maybe the Red Blast is better spent defending a Thunderscape. Let's plan on doing that. Essentially that would mean I'm not really doing anything this turn, though. That kind of sucks. Like I could play the Magus, or I could pitch the Magus to find something else. Like, what would I find right now? I could find like Mistcutter Hydra and Smash for a lot, but that's kind of uninteresting actually. Attacking seems mediocre. You guys see the problem, right? Like I don't know. Like if I pitch the Magus, what do I do realistically? Like what do I find? But I do think defending the Thunderscape Battle Mage is better than interacting with the Lab Maniac right now. Yeah, I'm going to play this, and as silly as it may sound, I'm going to pass. We're going to look for a Flame Tongue or something. I think that's right. What else could I look for the Lab Maniac? I think that's what I want to do. So let's ship it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Red Blast is better right now when he's tapped out, but I think he's got to have a misstep. Then again, later that means that if I'm defending the Thunderscape, like he could just misstep the Red Blast then. But I think I'm making the right decision here. Like at the very least, I would want to Red Blast the Thought Lash, right? So what is this, main phase? He says yes when I say I'm thinking. That seems fine. Now he's going to look for a Thought Lash. I think that's okay. Did he just deck himself? Yes. Well, let's try to do this right now, I guess. This isn't going to work. He's just going to respond by dividend topping. So I definitely just fucked up by not killing Maniac. God damn, this is hard to play against. Okay, what are my options here? Do I have any besides just him being stupid? I don't think so. So I guess, like, I punted this game, potentially. He has 2 cards in hand, so... But none of them are missteps. So I lost by not, blasting this early. I mean, he's just gonna top. All his forces are gone, too. Yeah. I think we just lose. I'm gonna do this just in case, but... That was stupid of me to not know that he had such an easy win on the table here. Yeah, we don't have anything that can deal with that. I could have handled this game better and probably won. Alright, so that's GG there. He beat me because, I mean, this is what it's like to play against a rogue deck. Like, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, even though you should. So with the 2 tops, does that mean I want to do any other fancy shit? I don't think so. I'm kind of happy with the way the deck looks right now. This does create a situation where I wonder if Rukthar is better than I thought it was last game. Like, Thrun isn't even that exciting to me. It's just a fat guy. It's pretty unimpressive. I mean, I guess it just comes out. I don't know. Yeah, like, maybe I just made my deck worse, but I'm gonna roll with this. He deserved that win, and I deserved to lose, given how I played it, because I think had I just killed the Lab Maniac on my turn, I would have had the... Well, you know what? Did he hardcast it and leave any mana untapped? Yeah, I think he paid 3 for it. So if I would have just... He couldn't have Demonic Consultation. I don't know why he would have done that, though. This is interesting. Because I could first turn Magus. But then I don't have a forest. And he can't even counter it. We're not mulliganing this. Like, he has so many basic islands that I think that that's kind of dangerous, and he kept his hand. So, like, do I want to hope that I can screw him mana-wise? Because I definitely can. Tough call. Like, I could lead off with a Fauna Shaman, too. That's kind of an interesting play. I only have 4 forests in here, so... Like, being able to cast this would be very difficult. Like, the advantage of having a Magus is definitely gone in some ways once I do one of these plays. But I gotta know if the Mana Crypt's gonna resolve, too. So I almost want to do that right now and play out the Fauna Shaman. Yeah. Let's cast this. That resolved. And let's play the Fauna Shaman. I'm not sure if this is right, but I think mana screwing him to some extent might just do enough. I actually kind of hope he forces this. But he didn't. Okay. So, I want him to play like an Underground Sea, honestly. Played a basic. That just means he was holding the basic anyway, which is okay, I suppose. Like, maybe this Deathrite would have been a better use of my mana there? Not sure. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just hope we don't die to this Mana Crypt. That would kind of suck. That's really good, though. That is probably going to want to come down next turn, I think. Yeah, we're going balls to the walls here, I think, guys. Human. We're just going to race him. I don't know if this is going to work. But that's the plan. Next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a 5/5 haste, uncounterable, plus all this damage. That seems good to me. Let's just not die to our own mana crypt. Yeah, let's play out this mofo. Cancel. This is half his life total. And he can't play a Thought Lash next turn. He could play like a Mana Crypt, maybe in play, then a Swamp, and beat me with a Demonic Consultation and a Lab Maniac. But I don't think so. I think we might have just won. Because he can't... Yeah, if he doesn't have a Mana Crypt, that's going to have to block, right? We might actually just be able to kill that. Okay, well, I don't have anything to do with this right now. Let's not lose this flip. Okay, good. What do we draw? Another land? That's bad. This brings him to 4. He has to block a Magus. If he blocks Magus, he goes to 1. And then if he can land Thought Lash, that's bad. I have to think about this. But he loses the Lab Maniac, which might be integral. And then hopefully we can draw a black and finish him off with a Ponder. Because we don't have a black right now, notably. Let's go to our main phase. Damn. Wish we had a black. If we just had a black, we'd win. The way it stands, he'll probably block the Fauna Shaman. This is only 10, right? Am I fucking something up? I don't think so. I mean, we have to kill that Lab Maniac. There's no way around this. I can't believe he had a just basic swamp. That really sucks. And drawing a land there also really sucked. We could still have this game. I think he's probably going to actually block the Fauna Shaman. We have to get in there with everybody. And if he's holding a Thought Lash, this game becomes much, much harder. And it's very possible he is. Yeah, I think like he either wins or loses the game on his next turn. He could also just play another Lab Maniac and immediately Consultation. Okay. That tells me he has a Thought Lash. The reason that tells me that is because he would have blocked the Magus if he didn't have a Thought Lash. Nope, he didn't have it. So I think we just took that, unless he's GGing. Nope. All right, so we just took that 2-1. I didn't think we had it in us. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you for round 4 next week.